Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Crafters Companion, we have these beautiful ornament die sets. These are dimensional die sets. We have Snowflake Splendor and Traditional Elegance. They make gorgeous 3D Christmas ornaments like this. I can't wait to show you how we worked with these and had so much fun making these beautiful ornaments. So come back and play with us. All right, so we're going to start with the Snowflake Splendor, and inside this package you're getting 4 dies. These 2 make the large snowflake, which Debbie made. We're going to take a little closer look at that one. And then this is the smaller snowflake, and I'm going to show you how to put the smaller one together. They're done the exact same way, they're just different sizes. So for the large snowflake, double-sided, Debbie used beautiful, from Hunky Dory Crafts, Parchment Essentials Bright Selection. So parchment meaning just a very, well, like a thicker vellum. And there's all of these, it's bright, but there's all of these wonderful pastels really. So she used the purples and the blues in this collection. And she also added some dot vellum from hot off the press. And it comes in 2 sizes, 12 by 12. And 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to link all of these items down below the video so you can shop and choose whatever you want. And then we just got in, you guys, these are packs of 10 of white vellum. So if you wanted to do all white snowflakes, we have this as well. Okay, now this little die set includes wonderful instructions step by step, and Crafters Companion made a fantastic video that goes through everything step by step, and I'm going to link that on the product page for these die sets. So all you have to do, if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page, just look down below for this die set, click on that, and it'll take you to the product page and you'll see the video there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, I will also link it down below the video in the description box. They are great videos to watch. So you can kind of consider them to be a companion piece to this video. So putting these together step by step, really nice. They suggest using 12 by 12 paper. You can use 8.5 by 11. You're just going to be cutting more pieces, okay? So the large one takes 60 pieces, okay? 60 pieces you're going to be cutting, and you're going to be cutting them into 4 by 3 inch little rectangles, okay? And then you're going to be using your dies, and I'm going to show you that step by step on the smaller one, but I want to give you a good look at this one. It's so beautiful. Debbie embellished that with some beautiful little grape crystals. So pretty right in the center there. And then the hanger is just like a little piece of fishing line, you guys. So, you know, go look in your garage, you might find some. That's a great way to hang your Christmas ornaments if you don't want the ribbon or anything to show. If you don't have any gold cord or silver cord in this way, using vellum, it's just really nice because it disappears. All right, so let's take a look on how we're going to put together the small version. And I've got all my little pieces. Oh, that looks like a crazy amount of pieces, but it's really not difficult. All right, so following the instructions for small, you're going to turn this over, all right? And we're going to use the 2 smallest dies. And we're going to be cutting our dot vellum. Here, I'm going to show you the finished side. So that's one side that's complete. And we're going to be doing this twice, and then you glue them together. Debbie had a really good tip about this though, which I thought was fantastic. She said when you're making this ornament, the instructions tell you to make 2 of them and then to glue them back to back with your little hanger sandwiched between. But she found that if you build one and then let it dry and all the glue's dried, turn it over, and then build the other one right on top of it, all of your little points are going to line up perfectly, okay? Because when you make them independently of one another, you might be off just slightly, and then you'd be really disappointed when you put them together. Now, there is a little trick to that. Here's one that we're going to be finishing together. So when you glue these together, okay, notice mine, see I didn't have her tip, so you're going to learn from my mistake. Mine are just slightly off right here. And I was telling her that, and I was like, ah. She's like, okay, well, you could either just build it upside down and align all the points, or if you get to this point and you found that's a problem, just take your points and offset them. Just glue them like that. So you'll just have them offset and it'll look fantastic and no one will know that they're just slightly off. I thought Debbie's brilliant. You know, Debbie's great. Whenever I have a problem, I go running to Debbie. All right, so let's see. We've got our little circles here. We've got our vellum. Got all of our goodies. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our dot vellum, okay, and you're gonna cut 60 of these. And these are, because we're making the small little snowflakes, these are 3 by 3. All right, and then we're gonna take them and you fold them in half. And it says to, you know, go ahead and use your bone folder on each one. I'm gonna just tell you right now, you don't have to do that. But okay, use your bone folder because you're going to lay each piece on here and then you're going to be putting it through the die cutting machine, which just squishes it and kind of is an automatic crease. So you really you don't need to use a bone folder. That just got to be kind of an obnoxious step. All right, so you're going to take these and then along the fold, okay, the fold is going to be right here, and you're going to take these and you're going to place them like this, okay? So here's the fold, and here's this one, and then it's very handy to go ahead and take a little bit of your low tack tape. See if I can get this going here. Come on. There we go. Take some of your low tack tape and secure it just like that. Now, to make this process go a little faster, here's another Debbie tip for you. Do 2 at a time. And here's how she did it. You just take another one. The folds are aligned. And then just take a paper clip those together so they stay aligned. Run that through your machine. It's not going to be any problem. The paper clip's going to go right through it. And then you're going to cut 2 at a time. And depending on the condition of your plates and stuff on your machine, you can probably do 3 at a time. Vellum is one of those things where the more pressure that you have, the better it cuts, I think. Sometimes when you just try to cut one sheet, it doesn't always cut so great. It's kind of like that with acetate too. Have you noticed that? So, all right, so once you cut those, then you're going to have all of these little shapes. So we're going to move on to our shapes. So that's what you're going to get when you unfold it. And so for each one of these little pieces, you actually are going to need 3 of them. Okay, and then, except these are the large pieces. I grabbed the wrong ones. Here we go. You're going to need 3 of them. All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take them and ink the edges. And she used, this is water reactive dye ink, but we're not using it for that. We're just using the color, and this is Lagoon. We just got these applicators in, you guys. These are by Spectrum Noir as well. These things have been around forever, and we just never thought to ask for them. And so I was like, Paulette, can we get some applicators for edging things? Works a little bit better than a blender brush, which is, I like them for surfaces. So we just got these in. I'll link these down below. It saves so much time. So we're going to do each one of those. That little applicator bottle, nice to have, but we're just using Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. It works great with vellum. We noticed, especially with the little applicator bottle, it works great. All right, so what we're going to do is open up one of these and lay it flat. And then the other ones, okay, on one side, you're just going to put glue on one side. That. And then you're going to take the other one, and you're going to, they're folded, and you're going to stick them together. And you just kind of want to make them squared up like that. All right, and then you're just going to pinch that one that's at the center, right? And then this one, we're going to glue to that one. That's one of, oops, it's one of these little pieces right here. You're just doing that over and over again. And I spent some time last night making little petals and things, or little snowflakes. I called them petals after a while. You'll probably see why when you're doing this. And it was so easy to do, but it's repetitive. It's just a nice little repetitive activity. the reward is so there, you guys. When you're done, you're just like, wow, look what I made. I like to make a Christmas ornament every year to give to family and friends. And I just sort of choose one and then I mass produce it. And I think that, oh, I better not say this. They watched this video. Maybe you guys will get one. Maybe you won't. All right. All right, so that's like one, okay? And then with the other size, that's this one, okay? You're gonna do the exact same thing. All right, so that's what you're gonna be making multiple of. And then what we've got here is you wanna take multiple of this shape right here, and you're gonna take a circle. And I like to use, and once again, I'm just following along in the instructions here. I like to use the 12 circle and scallop cutting dies, and I use this 1-inch one and then the 2.5-inch one. And that corresponds with instructions right here. Anyway, you're gonna take your circle. This one's a little bit bigger because it's meant for the large one. I actually should have cut one that's a little smaller. Anyway, you're gonna take that, and then you're gonna take these individual petal, I keep calling them petals, snowflake pieces, and you're gluing 5 evenly spaced to that, and that's going to be your base, right? Then once you have this base piece, I still have to glue one more on there, then you're going to start gluing all of these pieces right here. All right, so, and don't worry, remember there's a great video on this too. I'm just kind of doing the shortened version of this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this petal. Why do I keep calling it a petal? Snowflake piece, and we're going to glue that right in there. Okay, and then we have these two pieces, okay, and they look a little different here, and we want to make sure we're getting the right direction, so the big end goes in. And that is going to go on each side, just like that. And you just want to give it a little touch. And if you were using, if you were doing this with paper, I think you could even get away with using hot glue on this if you wanted to speed everything up. All right. Oops, I should have gotten that one in a little more. All right, there, that's that base piece. Now we're going to be doing the centerpiece right here. For that one, according to the directions here, you need to cut 2 strips that are 1 inch by 11 inches. And then you take your little scoreboard, which I thought was very handy here, and you're going to score them every 1/2 inch. I just placed mine right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down. Okay. That over there. All right, and then you've got it like this. It's already scored. And then you're going to just accordion fold that on those little score lines. And yes, you could turn that strip over every time, alternating back and forth on your scoreboard, so it was already scored in the right direction for accordion folding, but it's just not that hard, so it was fine. It's easy to fold against the score. It's just giving you kind of a marker. You know what I mean? All right, so you're going to just keep folding that, okay? And actually, you should have actually inked the edges of it first, but you could wait until it's all done and then ink the edges. And then we're going to keep scoring. We're going to keep folding on the score line all the way around. I'm just kind of speed this up a little bit. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to ink the edges. When you open that up, All right, now we're going to actually glue the ends of this together. You can once again use the Cosmic Shimmer, but I want to make sure this sticks because we're going to do a little trick. So I'm using some hot glue. All right, you're going to do that. And then what we want to do is kind of smush that down. It's like making those rosettes, yeah? Like that. And then we're going to glue it to one of those little 1-inch circles. So I would just put a little dot of hot glue there and then glue that on. So we're going to get, okay? So then once you get to that part, then we're going to take this, oops, upside down. Debbie put the circle face side up. We're just going to put some hot glue right around those little edges because we just want it to connect there. Just like that. That's it. And then Debbie used to embellish, this one is Caribbean crystals and the grape. Okay, and then she added those to the center and to each one of the points on the snowflake. So beautiful. All right, and now we're going to take some of that fishing line. And I knew I would lose it, you guys. I had it in separate, and I said to myself, don't lose the fishing line because they kind of disappear on you. Where did it go? It's probably sitting right in front of me somewhere. Well, it got away from me. That's disappointing. Okay, so at this point, you would glue right here in the center. You would sandwich in either your fishing line or your ribbon, whatever your hanger you wanted to do on there. Okay, and then you're going to take those and you're going to glue them together. Now remember, I didn't glue these using the first one as a pattern, so I'm going to glue them. I'm going to set this offset. Okay, so it has twice the spikes, but I think it's just beautiful. All right, so that is the finished snowflake. Of course, you would put all your gems and jewels on the other side. Isn't that beautiful? I thought that's so great. Debbie did such a brilliant job with that. And I know it would look amazing if you made it out of paper as well. All right, so let's move on to the next one here. I'm gonna find I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking for the piece of fishing line. All right, so for this next one, this one is the Traditional Elegance, and it's just like a bauble, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This is the small bauble. Look how beautiful. This one got actually a little munched in my car on the way to work today. It fell on the floor. So we're just gonna pretend it looks better than it does, but it's got a little bit of a glitter edge. I'm gonna show you that tip. And here is the large one. It traveled better. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to put this one together. I've gotta get all my stuff. All right, so for this one, we're going to be making the large one. And I have to grab my instruction here. So this one comes with a couple of templates. Comes with a small template and a large template. It also comes with a large die and the small die. And we are going to be using the large one. So we have the instructions for the large one right here. This one also, so for the large one, you guys, I went around and around about what kind of material to use. Should I use cardstock? Should I use glitter cardstock? Should I use vellum? What should I use? And I tried so many different materials. And what I came to that best was that like a lightweight paper worked the best. So for example, like a scrapbooking paper, worked the best. And then this one is Christmas Plaid. And it's single-sided, so we're gonna have, you know, like this white on it, but I thought that went really well. And it's 65-pound weight. So it actually just worked so much better than using even a lightweight cardstock because of the bulk, and I'm gonna show you why. So the first thing we need to do is prep our paper, and I have a tip for you on this. First of all, cut several sheets at a time because you're going to need to cut for this large one. You're cutting 24 of these, which takes, if you do your math, 6 sheets. And I believe Paulette is going to do, I'll put all of these papers, which you can buy by the sheet or you can buy in packs of 15. I'll put them down below in the video and the products used. But yeah, how many of us have 6 sheets of the exact same sheet of scrapbook paper? Maybe a lot of you, but yeah, we want to make sure everybody has what they need to complete one. So we're going to cut this 12 by 12 into 5-inch strips. So here's the tip. This paper has this print on the back, okay? So the first thing you want to do is just avoid that. And what we're going to do is cut these into 5-inch strips. We're going to leave that on this side, and it works out beautifully. But if you don't cut that away, you're going to have that showing on your ornament, and we don't want that. So just cut that off. So this is the part we're not using. Use that for another project. All right, and now we're going to cut. So I'm doing 3 sheets at a time, like that. Like that. So if I did 3 sheets, 5-inch squares, that's going to give me 12 squares. So you just need to do that again with more sheets. All right. Then you're going to take your square and you're going to just fold them in half. Like that. Let's do Debbie's little trick of doing 2. Okay. And then we're going to take our large die. Fold is on this side. Die's right here. We're going to use Debbie's little trick of paper clipping those together. And the reason you're paper clipping them is you want those folds to stay aligned. That's the most important part. And then we're going to just take a little bit of tape. I like to put tape on the part of the paper that's being cut away. That way there's no problem with it just getting impressed into your paper. You know, we've all had that happen. Okay, then you're going to run that through your die cutting machine. And then you're going to get all these little pieces right here. And you're going to need a whole bunch of them. Now we're going to take our template right here and we're going to go back to using a little bit of our low tack tape. And this is a big tip that really pays off. They show you this in their video. Tape that down. It's going to just solve a world of problems will go away if you just tape it down. All right, then following along on our instructions, we're going to take one of these at a time. You're going to open this up. You're going to place it right here. And it says A, and then B, 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 B. And that's where you're going to be adding your glue. All right. Now, you can use hot glue on this. I preferred to use the Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. I'm just using it in my applicator. But I did that and then just let it dry for several hours. I found using hot glue that it just made everything a little messier and a little bulkier. And this glue kind of absorbs into the paper a little bit. It really bonds to the fibers. Hot glue just sits on top. And when we're pulling this, and you're going to see this in a minute, when we're starting to pull this and wrap it around, you want that glue to really adhere to that paper. So using the hot glue wasn't my first choice. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put a dot of glue right next to the A. You'll notice I'm going in about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And I'm doing that because I don't want to have it kind of leak out onto the edges. Now we're going to do the B. And here's another thing. Make special note while you're doing this, because you're going to be doing this for a while, that the A is on the pattern side and the B is on the white side. Because at some point I really lost track of that. You're just doing this for a while, you're watching TV, and then you're going to go, wait, what? Where am I? So write it down if you need to, that A is on the pattern side and B is on the white. Trust me, you'll appreciate that later. All right, we're going to do that. And this is just what we're doing. We're just doing this for 60 pieces, or not 60, 24 pieces, sorry. Oh, that would be too much. Just 24 times. Oh, see, I just messed it up. Just did what I said I was worried about doing. Jeanette's laughing at me. She's like, Lene, you did it wrong. It's okay. You'll do it too. Trust me, you're going to do it too. All right. We'll get it right this time. So you're going to just keep doing this. I'm going to correct my error here. You don't need a lot of glue. That's why the applicator is so nice. I found that when I was working on this last night at home, that I was using too much glue, and then it was sort of seeping out the sides and causing problems, because then it would start to glue this edge, and that's going to keep it from opening up in that sort of nice accordion fold. All right, so we're just going to keep doing that until everything is used up. And when you're done, oops. Okay, when you're done, you're going to have a nice big stack like that. So when you're using the liquid glue, set this aside and let it dry for several hours. I let this dry overnight, all right? And then when you open it up, it's going to do this. Isn't that cool? There's something very satisfying about that. You're making your own honeycomb, essentially, okay? So I would recommend kind of loosening this up, making sure there's no problems with the edges. Everything is coming apart as it should. There we go. Very nice. All right, and then what you're going to do, we have a little loop of grosgrain ribbon, and we're going to glue that right there. Now this part, I think not using a little bit of hot glue is a nice idea. I'm just going to put some of that on there. Putting that right there. And then we're going to put a lot of glue on the spine. I'm just going to go back to my full bottle here, Cosmic Shimmer, because that little applicator is so nice and sweet, but man, when you're really trying to get some glue on there, you got to get back to the original bottle. All right, so that's really going to want to be what's going to keep that in place. All right, now this is the tricky part. You're stretching and you're pulling this side, and you're going to be meeting it to the other side. Whoop! Okay, don't drop it. And you're going to be meeting it to the other side. I see here there's some pieces here that are kind of stuck together. Okay, got everything loosened up. So now we're just going around, pulling slowly. And then this is a nice place where the hot glue comes in again. And you just want to put some approximately, I'm doing this upside down, a little friend to help is nice. approximately where those A's and B's were. Right there. And then you're just going to glue those pieces together, those sides. And then I found that a couple paper clips were really handy. There and right there. And then while that's drying, which, you know, it's hot glue, it's not going to take very long. Okay, there we go. And then while that's drying, I wanted to talk to you about using a little bit of liquid, like glitter glue, to put around the edges of this. And I tried a couple things, okay? So when I was thinking about how to get glue on the edges of this, I thought, well, could you use embossing powder? Could you just take an embossing pad and put it on the surface, kind of roll that in some embossing powder and heat it? No, don't do that, because when the heat gun hits this, it loosens the glue, and that's going to spring open. The other thing I thought of is just taking the little applicator bottle of that glue and putting it along the lines. That's super tedious, and that was driving me crazy. Then I thought about using a paintbrush and then just placing it like that. The paintbrush kind of splays and it gets along into it gets off the edge. So this is what I found to do. Take your glitter glue. We can zoom in on this, Jeanette. Take your glitter glue and just dip some onto the end of a paintbrush or pencil or anything, and just go like this. And that was so much easier because this is a flat surface and you're rubbing it against that edge, and it went much more quickly and kept things pretty even, like that. So that's my tip for that. Not bad. All right, and then you could take a little ribbon, take a bow. Oh, I sprung open there a little bit. You could take a little bow and you could put that right here, or you could just leave it as is. But these beautiful baubles, you guys, are so gorgeous. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one as we were talking. So we have a fantastic money saver on these beautiful ornaments. And I'll finish this one. You guys can see what it looks like when we're done. So I would really encourage you to get on that. Paulette's going to include some paper on there so you guys have the ability to finish multiple ornaments. Would definitely encourage you to take a look at that. Here we go. All right. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then definitely check out down in this description box. Check out the link that'll take you to your Paper Wishes webisode page. You'll see the money saver on all this, and if you're interested in just one or two things, those are listed down below the video. And if you are interested in subscribing, we would love that. We do 4 to 5 videos a week. We wouldn't want you to miss a thing. A thumbs up is appreciated. It helps people find our channel. Thanks for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you next time.